Alright guys, what we're going to do is start installing the rod bearings here. What I like to do is put a mark right here, that way I know I can't get this cap oriented the wrong way. But we're going to unscrew these. I'll show you how to do one, and they're all the same thing. Alright, flip this over. If you'll notice, this has a little tang here. Alright, your bearings also got this little tang there. So all you're going to do is just same way you did on the crank. Put your tang right there. I hold my finger right here. Push down at the top. And voila, Bob's your uncle. Now you come over here. Look here. Got a tang here. Match your tang up. Just like that. Let me get you in camera. Just like that right there. You can push down on that side. Voila. Susie's your aunt. And you just put them back together and get them ready to put in a block. Wait. Hold on. Wow. Okay guys. As you can see, I've got a piston laying up here, and the videos and the post on Facebook show that I already had this thing together, and I did. But I'm going to teach you something from my mistakes. We didn't have the right set of rings on these pistons. So that means we've got to pull all the pistons back out, take the rings back off. We have the correct Molle rings, and we're also going to show you how to check the gap for your rings. So I guess you could say it's a win-lose situation, because I've got to redo something that I've already done, but I get to show you a little bit more info on what to do. Let's get to it. Alright guys, you're not going to be able to see my ugly mug, but you got a good view of the motor, hopefully. First of all, I'm going to show you, I'm going to correct it. The rings that I showed in the video show a set of rings for a 6.0 block. This is a 6.0 block, but we had it bored to a 6.2. So, we've got the correct rings. This is your part number. These are Molle rings. That's where I got them from, or that's the manufacturer of them. So, we're going to show you something here. Okay, we've got two different rings here. And I'm going to try to show you. When you're putting rings on your pistons, there is a, let me see, I hope you can see this. There is a little divot right here where my finger is, if you'll see. It's a little divot right there. That's going to face up. Also, if you can tell, there is a little bevel right here on the inside of this ring. I don't know if you can see that or not, but hopefully you can. This is the top ring. This will be at the top of the piston. Okay? Your second ring also, right there where my finger is, it has a bevel. That faces up also. So, that clears that part up. Now, top ring, we're going to put it inside of the cylinder, just like so. And we're going to use our piston and push it down about midways of the cylinder. About right there. I'll zoom the camera in so you can see what I'm seeing right here. Give me just a second. All right, now that we've got you set up here, you can go on the internet, and I think it's Hastings Rings, and it'll give you a lot of information on how to set your gap, what your gap needs to be set at. But on what I'm doing, it calls for me to set the gap at 4 times the size of the cylinder. So we got a 4-inch cylinder times 4, 16. 16 thousandths is what we need. So we need to get our filler gauge, and as you can see, here we go. We've got 16 thousandths there. Now let's stick this in here. We're going to check and see if this is the right one. And it is. Let me see if I can get you in there so you can see that. There you go. As you can see, that's the right one for the tools to drop all the way down. That was 16 thousandths. Okay. So they give you a little bit of play. So anywhere from 14 to 18 thousandths clearance would be fine on this. So we've got 16 thousandths on this one. So let's pull this one out, and we're going to put the second ring in and check the gap on that one also. I have not filed these rings down. They are completely stock out of the box that I got. So again, let's take the piston. We'll push this down about halfway. There we go, we got it pushed down. Now let's get our filler gauge again. We're going to go for, let's just start out at 14 and work our way up. All right, now $14 fits in there. Oh, just about dropped the tool again. Let me show you. 14 fits in there. Let's open this up. Let's go to 15. See what we've got on 15 thousandths. See, it's kind of probably upside down for y'all, but as you can see, it's 15 thousandths. Now let's stick that in there. 15 thousandths goes in there. All right, let's try 16. So we know we're within spec already as far as being, at the minimum. So let's see, there's 16 thousandths. Let's see if that will clear it. Okay, 16 thousandths is a little tight. So it's about 15 thousandths. That's good. I'm going to leave it like that. So these 2 sets of rings are good enough for this cylinder on this piston. Alright, now we're back over here at the work table. And we've got our oiler rings right here. We've got our second rings right here. Our first rings over here. What we're going to do is we're going to start out with putting the oiler ring on. Alright, and what we want to do is, as you can see, I'm going to try to show you this. There we go. Now I got it to focus. As you can see, it's got a little high raised up spot right there at the back. Okay, that top ring that we're going to put on this once we put this in the piston kind of helps hold that in. And it's got one at the bottom. The bottom ring helps hold that one there. So let's go ahead and start putting these on. Alright, the gap on the oiler, I'm going to put that down at the bottom. I want this to be facing the very bottom of this piston. Right there. Alright, now we're going to install, well, I got a little bit of a mess right here. Things never work out when you're trying to record. Just know that. Alright. Okay, we got one oiler ring on it. Now we're going to put the, I don't know what you call this, but it's got the gap right here. I want to put that facing either the right side or the left side of this, I'm drawing a blank here, the rod that holds the piston on right here. So what we're going to do is start, go down, put this one on the bottom of that oiler ring, work our way around. Well, get our oiler ring back up here. Just like that. Okay. That's our oiler ring on the bottom. Now we want to put another one on the opposite side over here. So all we do is just, again, continue working our way down to the top of that oiler. Just like that. Now that one's on. Again, we want these facing with the gaps to the sides, just like that. Now we're going to take our second ring, we're going to put this on first. Remember your little divot right here. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. Right there. There's a little divot. You want that facing up. So all we're going to do, we want this gap right here to come to the top of the piston. So, start this on here. Let's see what we got on there. That's not the one we wanted to do. Keep on walking our way down. Just back off, so I'll just restart this one. Just like that. Okay, we got that one up to the top. Now we're going to take our top ring, divot up, bevel edge going up on this. We want this gap right here to be down at the bottom. Just like that. Now we're going to go over here, we're going to put this one inside of the block. So we'll meet you over there. Alright guys, we've got the tool on here. Just going to tighten her down. This compresses the springs. back up a little bit. Alrighty. Now let's see if we can get our handy dandy hammer and knock this down on there. I made that sound really rough, but I'm going to put a rag in there just for a little security bonus. Let's see how this goes. With the other rings that they weren't the right ones. This went so easy, but I could tell this may be a little rougher. I don't want to beat straight down with my hammer onto the piston, so I'm just going to do it this way. Voila! That one went right down in there also. That's a good thing. I could tell this is a lot tighter than the other rings. So, what we're going to do now is push this further down here onto the crank so that we can get the cap back on it, and they will be happy ever after. So, here's the cap. You have to make sure these go on the right way, because these are a broken cap. They're not cut, so you can't put it on either way, you know, whatever way you want. It has to go a certain way. So mark these before you take them off. As you can see, I marked mine. So we're going to line this back up, put this back on. And we're going to carry on to the next one. But there's no sense in me making you all sit here and watch me ramble on about this stuff, because I'm just making it sound like I know what I'm talking about. But as you can see, I was a rookie and I did it wrong the first time. So this is just a short update video. Alrighty, we'll get this one pointed towards the front here. Like that. Get a tool over here. Push this back off. This is just a cheap one that I bought from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Not sponsored by them yet, but it's doing the job, so I'm not going to complain about it. Just like that, see? Works great. Love it. See, I tend to way overthink things. And I've always been so scared to do stuff like this. And like I said in the beginning of this video, this is my first motor that I've ever rebuilt. I've changed heads on motors, you know, water pumps, you know, starters, stuff like that. But I've never done this much, so it's kind of like when I built my son's LS Swap C10. That was the most I got involved in that one, and on this one I'm getting even further involved. I'm loving it. Alrighty. Let's get this puppy down in here. Let me spin this. Alright. Let's get this thing spun over here. Alright. That's all the way down. Just like that. Man, I love it. Yeah, so if you're watching this video and you're like me, this is your first time, you're a little intimidated, don't overthink it. I'm having a blast doing this. I'm having a blast learning all this. So the more I know, the better I understand how things work. So And I'm sure we're going to have a bunch of people that's going to comment on this and say, oh my God, I can't believe you were doing that or this. And, you know, I'm no professional. Again, this is my first time doing this, so cut me some slack. There we go, Bob's your uncle. Have no idea why I started saying that. But I do have an Uncle Bob. So I guess I can say it. Well, I guess people can say it to me, should I say. We'll get these torqued to spec here in just a second. Okay guys, we're going to start torquing down these rod caps. The first initial pass we're going to do on these are 15 foot-pound. So we'll get that started, and you want to do it kind of evenly. Just keep going, and like I said, do it evenly. Don't crank one side down and then expect to crank the other one. Just go back and forth until you get it snugged up. I'm going to keep going because that way I know where I left off at. I don't want to skip around. No sense in getting in a hurry on this. It's when things get messed up. Like I said, just take your time. Now the second pass that I'm going to go through, I'm going to go about 43 to 45. I've seen people do 45, but these are used bolts, so we'll probably stick with 45 and just as that. So. Alrighty. Now we're just working ourselves back. Then we'll come back out here tomorrow and check them again. See if they've relaxed any. There we go, guys. All right. Now we'll spin it over, make sure everything's still good. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.